4 police officers encounter a demon. The following information comes directly from their police reports. Only 10 years ago, on a cold winter's night in the city, the dispatcher gets a call from a frantic man who can barely speak, and he said his sister is possessed and tried to cut his heart out while he slept. He said he managed to fight her off and run into the bathroom and lock himself in. The dispatcher immediately sent police to the address, then patched the live call over to the lead officer. The lead officer was a no-nonsense type of guy who had no time for hoax calls, so he got right to it and listened. The man whispered, "There's a demon in my sister's body," talking as if he didn't want to be overheard. The officer said, "I'm sorry, sir, what?" He said that a demon that has been battling me for days got free from the chains. The officer heard scratching and banging at the door. According to his report, what the officer heard next sent shivers through his body. He overheard another voice taunting the caller in another language. He described the voice as someone who was swallowing razor blades, but so deep that it was shaking items around the caller. The officer said the voice filled him with dread, even though he couldn't understand the language it was speaking. The 4 officers arrived at the house, broke through the front door, and what they found gave them all nightmares. They found a young woman standing outside his bathroom door. When he said she broke out of the chains, he wasn't lying. There was a thick chain attached to a bloody handcuff that was attached to one of her wrists that would clank every time she moved. Her body was covered in awful scratches that looked self-inflicted. One of her eyes had popped a blood vessel during her fit of rage. Her clothes were all torn and the officers described her as looking pale like a corpse. There was a huge dent in the bathroom door, along with deep gouges from her fingernails as she tried to get to her brother. Upon seeing the officers, she let out a horrifying scream, then attacked all 4 of them. Eventually, they managed to subdue her and haul her off to a psych ward, where apparently she remains today. They managed to coax the brother out of the bathroom, very shooken up, but showed the police officers the damage to his body. His chest was all scratched and bloody from his sister trying to dig his heart out with her bare hands. Many of the officers involved in this incident reported finding Jesus shortly after.